Welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 18th of July. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the overall strands to look out for. Please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in forensic detail. Now, as this week begins, Venus, the planet of relating, but also of loot, moves into the sign of Cancer on Monday. This is wonderful if we want to think about how we can improve our immediate physical environment. So some people are likely to be picking up the paintbrushes and making some changes perhaps to furnishings over the next few weeks. If you're in the northern hemisphere, even the outdoor space could be an area that you try to beautify. But also at the start of this week, Mercury is face to face with the strident and powerful energies of Pluto. Pluto's in the part of the overall zodiac which is to do with the more physical world, whereas Mercury is just leaving its recent home in the more emotional Cancer. So there could be some kind of intense discussion at the start of this week, but then on Tuesday, as Mercury makes its way into Leo, this is a more outgoing, friendly and affectionate sign, and an opportunity to think more about how we can connect and socialise. With Venus in the fourth house now, gatherings in our home environment could prove popular. But the big change this week is the Sun's move into Leo on Friday. And that's because the Sun governs the sign of Leo. But before it says goodbye, it also goes face to face with Pluto. So this clash between what we need in terms of our protection, security, the more nurturing side of life, with that harsher physical reality, it's something that is going to be very manifestly obvious to us all. But I think once the Sun gets into Leo, it's kind of saying, how can we find the inner resources in order to deal with balancing these different elements of our lives? I think it's a lot to do with a general instability that's going on in the world. And part of that is because Uranus, the planet of restlessness, is aligning with the North Node in Taurus. And basically we're getting the kind of consequences for our actions over many years, but because Uranus is the planet of truth and the sign of Taurus is very much about resources, some of that is to do with the cost of living crisis. And the conjunction between the North Node and Uranus will peak next week, and I will tell you about that then. Of course, we've also got Mars in the sign of Taurus too, which technically is not its best location, and that can make people a little bit more sort of resentful and outspoken around financial issues. So we are seeing more activism as people push back against any very difficult conditions that they're living in. So there can be a big flavour of that this week, but I think Mercury and the Sun moving into Leo is really saying to us, what can we do to be more creative, more passionate? How can we bring our personality power to bear in order to improve our situations? Now, I've crashed through the 100,000 mark in terms of subs. I'm keen to get to 101 as quickly as possible. If you'd be so good to click or tap on the bell notification symbol, I'd be most grateful. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast, please give me 3 pieces of personal birth data in time, date and place of birth, and I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life, along with a 12-month personal forecast. All of this is completely unique to you based on your birth data, and there's 30% off with my special package. Please see the link beneath this video. So Aquarius, your week commencing the 18th of July forecast sees Mercury and then the Sun move into your opposite sign this week, bringing into focus your relationship situation. But of course you've had Venus in the glorious 5th house of late, which is very affectionate and playful. The 7th house is more about how we connect to people. It can be in a more competitive way. It can be in a more relating way. It just depends. But Mercury and the Sun are in a tense opposition with Pluto this week before they move on. And Venus moves on Monday into your 6th house of practicalities. Now, if there has been a kind of brittle energy, around your nervous system, it's been difficult to sleep, or you've been working hard on attending appointments or catching up with things that maybe have been delayed through COVID, or getting more organised in your home sphere, that's all the good side of the 6th house. The 6th house also can make us a little bit picky and critical, and because Mercury is the governor of the sign of Virgo, then perhaps there has been an element of that, and there could be at the start of this week. So something could get under your skin a little bit, but it's important to balance the practical, where Mercury and the Sun are at the start of this week, with the emotional and the spiritual, which is where Pluto is. So some energies can be still a little bit turbulent this week, but once Mercury moves joined by the Sun on Friday, I think you can start to sort of get back into reaching out and connecting. The 7th house, very much in keeping with the sign of Libra, which of course is an air sign like yours. It's about relating. That's really something that you're very interested in as well. Also, Jupiter, the planet of growth, and traditionally in astrology of fortune, that forges a really excellent link with Mercury towards the end of this week, and there could be a conversation, an agreement forged, which is really fortunate as this week draws to a close, so that's exciting. But Mars is still making its deeper progress into your 4th house, where you have your modern ruler Uranus and the North Node about to tighten up into an exact conjunction next week. So I think where you live, how you live there, and how is a big part of what's going on at the moment. But the nervous tension that can be there this week makes way for an opportunity to reach out, connect, and really relate to people about how you're feeling about situations that are important to you.